Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another stream. We're back, and we're on TerraFirmaGregging, which isn't like too unusual. But hi, everyone. Hello, hello. How are we doing? How are we all not? Hi, long time. How is? I'm doing all right. I'm not sick anymore. Well, okay, for the most part. I do have a bit of a lingering cough, but I think that's it. For the most part, that's the lingering. But yes, hi, Spark. Welcome. You say that as you proceed to cough. I don't. I mean, yeah, but it's like that lingering little bit that's left. It's like most of it's gone. You know, it's like what's left over. But generally, I'm a pretty coffee person. So let me actually test some of the chat monitoring as well, just to be sure. I think we'll be good. We'll be fine. Last time we were playing with Blinding. Unfortunately, Blinding could not make it tonight, so that's fine. I wouldn't wanna put pressure on them to join, so they're free to, drop out. At least they told me in advance, so it's not a big deal. But yes, hi, hello, and obviously, for those of you who may have been more attentive, whether that be in the Discord or on Twitter, I did kind of forget to post it on Blue Sky like a big dummy. I failed to mirror that. So that's my bad. Also, I'm noticing that's ooh, hold on. That's using a little more memory than I'm feeling confident about. Hold on. That should usually drop within like a few minutes of using Minecraft, the physical instance. Bloodrose Kitsune, hello. Hi. Welcome to the stream. That's okay. I'm struggling to figure out what plan I should do for Morphoseed. No, that's fair. I think it definitely takes some time to find a nice little plane that you feel comfortable with. I'm trying to also think about it. My memory usage real quick because it is a little bit high. It's a little much right now. I don't know. I think I can shave off some bits and pieces here and there. Yeah, I can shave off some bits and pieces here and there, just to get it in the safe zone until Minecraft offloads some of its memory usage, because it hasn't done that yet. But it should any moment now. Have you hydrated yet today? Yes, and I plan to hydrate quite reliably even on stream, so we shouldn't be doing too bad, I don't think. Also hoping that my ISP is stable. That's not really in my control, but it's a good thing to have around. Right? Anyway, without further ado, we wanted to focus on bronze last time, but I kind of didn't get the opportunity because I did get caught up in other stuff. Minecraft the Computer Destroyer. Oh yeah, absolutely. It does tend to do that. I'm usually like preemptively booting the mod pack, because after a while of being open, it will normalize its memory usage to be more normal, so it's not like crazy high. Also, I probably could have been a little smarter about it and like opened stuff ahead of time. But I'm a little ooped. I'm not even gonna lie. So, you know, I didn't do that because I'm smart. I'm smart like that, right? No, I can be pretty foolish sometimes. You know, we're here. We're alive. But yes, hi, Blood Rose. Hi, Delegano. Welcome, everyone. Hi, Spark as well. We're probably gonna take it very easy today. Just, you know, keep our head level in terms of progression, so that we don't get too overwhelmed, because you tend to do a lot of bouncing back and forth in this mod pack with like what you're doing, which means that, you know, you can get pretty confused very easily. It does not particularly bode well for gameplay coherence, nor does it bode well for how coherent I sound on stream. So we don't want to rush ourselves here. Oh god, yeah, if you like organizing stuff, look away when I go into a chest, because this is not okay. I severely apologize for exposing you to my awful sorting. I do not think anyone should be subjected to it besides myself. I just saw something absolutely cursed. Someone... Hold on. Someone... I don't know what that's meant to say. Sorry, hold on. What's the censored part? I'm sorry. Like I just saw something absolutely curious. Someone blank at a 10 model with AM. Oh, I'm M24. M24 Hind, and they called it the MI10 Warthind. There's no censored part. I'll just send you the photo of what I saw next. Oh yeah, no, I don't allow links here that aren't pre-whitelisted. Sorry. Just to prevent spam. Because usually people don't tend to link anything with good intentions that I haven't pre-approved. My apologies. You could send it probably in the Discord though. That is probably a thing you could do. But you know, on Twitch chat itself, I do not let that happen. I'm not in there. Do you want to join? Discord.gg/plaintits. It's pretty easy entry, so you can just type that into a browser, or you can go to Discord and the plus server button. Just type plaintits or discord.gg/plaintits. But that is the invite link for your information. I'm just cooking all this venison right now because I don't want to starve at any point. That would be terrible. That would be bad. I don't want to starve. I don't want to die of hunger. Surprisingly, despite the fact that you do get a great vision when you get hungry, I'm not very good at staying on top of it. And that's a me thing. That's a me problem. I should not be having trouble with that, but oh well. Okay, I mean, I'll just post any memes on it if that's alright. No, that's fair. That's fine. You should be able to do that, I think. I think they can... Yeah. I think you can embed links there. Yeah, I think so. I might be wrong. I might be being silly, but no, I think you can. Yeah, okay, that's fair. Purposed. The MI10 Warthind isn't real. Can't hurt you. MI10 Warthind. Oh my god. Is it weird that I kind of vibe of it though? It kind of has a vibe. I don't hate it. I really don't hate it. I actually kind of like how it looks. Like, is that crazy? Is that like... Is that blasphemy right now? Also, hold on. Hold on. Jesus Christ. No wonder my memory's a little bit overboard. Why does Discord use like... That is cool. Not as bad as the 814 Thundercat. Oh my... Do I even want to know? I want to know? Oh my god, I just looked at it. Oh my god. This is torture. This is torture. Let me close anything I don't specifically need. I don't know if that's running anything that I wouldn't want to destroy. Surely I don't need this much RAM on Chrome right now, PC. Surely not. Surely not, right? Hold on, let me see if I can close it and then open it back up just so I can have a little bit more wiggle room. A little bit more wiggle room. That should be plenty. That should be fine. I'm no longer stressed about that memory usage. Anyway, let me continue cooking this venison here. I need to sync these expiry dates very well too, because I'm really prone to not doing that properly, which means that I'll just have like a billion stacks of food that don't have very lined up expiration dates. Does not bode well. Oh god. A lot of this stuff is like really old and about to expire. Especially out of the vessel. Can be cut with a knife. Oh, raw burger patty. I make cooked burger. But I can't do anything with these intermediary ingredients because they're supposed to be put into different foods. And the problem with that is that I just don't have a lot of ingredients to make said foods because I don't know, we don't tend to have... Hold on, let me make sure that I'm not talking on my ass here. Actually, wait. Cooked pelmeni. This should gain an expiry date on... Does he use any dough at all? Or any meat? Any dough and any meat? So chibariki. Also get a cooked burger patty, which can be specifically used for a lavash wrap. Wait, hold on. I could have sworn... Yeah, we have bowls, we have a spoon, a wooden barrel, flatbread, water, bowl, and like barley flour or something similar. Like barley flatbread dough. Okay. 7 days expiry date. I just cook this. Can I? I think I can. Yes, I can. Look, didn't say to be raw. Doesn't it want it to be raw? It does. How am I meant to like... Actually, I don't think it'll let me do that, will it? It will not let me toggle between... between, like, how many. I think I might be in... That's not supposed to be an oversight, is it? I don't know. I won't question it. I won't question it right now. This also... Okay, I mean, to be fair, it is raw. I'm judging it a little unfairly here. I mean, it's not terrible. I'd have to see what it does when I actually eat it. I will say it is a good way to save almost expired meat though. Okay, this is actually cool. Kind of cool. I'm sitting out here outside. V-22 Osprey just flew over. Ooh. I see. Did you get a good look of it? Good view? How much does that preserve in a very large vessel? 3 months? Oh my. I actually don't hate that. But like, I don't know how much it fills. Oh. I mean, it fills more than 2 bars, so it's already like looking pretty good. Food is not as scarce nowadays in TerraFirmaGregging as it was in previous updates. That's good. It makes surviving a little more tolerable. Shipwrecky. Although we are on easy difficulty, which probably helps. At least like in a raw number parts is hard. I do believe hunger might behave differently on hard. There's also the mobs, obviously, because there is a new dimension that acts as a replacement for the Never, where mobs spawn, and in this mod pack, mobs primarily spawn underground instead of above ground. So usually above ground, the main danger is the wildlife more than anything. You might encounter some direwolves or some bears. So I think there's also saber-tooth tigers that roam around every now and then. I have seen a killer whale too, I think. If I'm not mistaken. Also notice that like these are incredibly light. You can make a ton of these. And they're like incredibly compact. They can stack to a very large amount. Like if I grab all of this like kind of reject meat, is there anything else we can make? We can make sandwiches, but like if we specifically want something like use cooked meat, we need to combine it with like a beet. Let me grind down some grain here so I can just see what happens when I make some lavash wraps. Lavash. Probably saying that very terribly, but you know. Don't judge me. Don't judge me. I try, okay? Okay. Listen. Bowl. I forgot about the bowl. I swear you could like, yeah, you can make it more efficient by spreading the dough out, the flour out, I mean. So like, yeah, if I use this with cooked meat and 7 days expiry date, and that's raw, I have to keep that in mind. Do some flatbread as well. I can keep around if I really want to. 2 months expiry date, that's not too bad. 5 months in a vessel. And I put some other things like sketching the artwork, which I love doing sketching. That's nice. Feel free to post your works in the artwork chat if you want. If you want to share. I do want to highlight community creations better sometime. I think the starboard definitely helps with that, but I might make an art starboard as well. So specifically, I know how to speak. Because I do think you can starboard a lot of silly things, like a lot of silly messages, but I do want to highlight art maybe specifically, just like as a wow. Art, cool art. wow, look at this cool art thing someone made. Barley grain. I can like grind this for now. Okay. Has been posted. Hold on, I'll take a look at it in a moment. There it is. Ooh. Some weapons, some tanks. I like the wire mesh like type vibe going on. I do vibe of that. I like it. Feels very like, it almost is a little bit like how do I put it? Like sci-fi, but not really. But it has that like almost I don't even know. I guess Tron is a good example, but I have never interacted extensively with Tron, so take that with a grain of salt. It's just the only thing that really pops into my mind right now. I need my water and my spoon and bowl. Was it specifically like, okay, is it generally that specific pattern? Oh no, there's a limit. Okay, that's the limit. It's only for 4. Did not know that. Do I still have water in here? I do. Server is feeling a bit laggy, which means that I could probably get away with restarting it just to get some stability back. Hold on, I would have to double check if that's really the case. Let me double check. It's okay. I've been trying to work on like an actual art drawings. I've been trying to collab with one of my best friends to help redesign my Sona. How's that going so far? I know it can be a little well, I wouldn't say daunting, but like it can be a little bit like iffy because you never quite know what to do, or like you can never really decide like what you actually want to settle with. Pretty much living in a house. Okay. Yeah, I've been there. I've definitely been there. You're not alone in that, that's for sure. Let me properly combine these expiration dates, please. Thank you. My god. The wash wrap. They made a ton of dough too, so you can like start making it into Chibareki. How much is that? Is that 60? Oh my god. Jesus Christ. Can I do anything that like preserves this forever? I don't think so. It does last 3 months, so it's like as long as I keep it in a vessel. As long as I keep it in a vessel, I'm sure it'll be grand. It's my chat reminder. I did change the link on that. I remember a while back it was the wrong link, and so people were very confused on why the Discord invite wasn't working, which is my oopsie, my bad. That's cooked venison. That's not what I need to put in there right now. As some of you, I say some of you, but like probably a good portion of people who are in the Discord. I did make a small little schedule post thing image, which means that yeah, I did highlight that I was gonna stream today at 10 p.m. Which, hello, I did do that. I am doing that right now. Poot, highlight. How you doing? Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the chat. How you doing? But yeah, I did do that as promised. So Hooray. First day on the schedule. We did it. We were here. We're alive. If I can get the next time... Thank you for the headpad. If I can get the next time... That's like... If I can do that, I'll be really proud of myself, you know? Also, Light, I'm letting you know, I have found revolutionary food techniques. We don't have to eat horrible food, okay? Although I'm very tempted to see if cooking this on a open charcoal pit will actually degrade the quality that much, because if it doesn't, which it will, it very much will, because I do think charcoal grilled is technically a negative quality on the food, which I don't really know if that's very accurate, depending on what it is, of course, but yeah. Okay, no, there's no charcoal in here, of course it's not gonna light. I just want to see if I can, you know, heat stuff up way quicker here. I am now officially broke of oil barrels. I'm sorry. You spent all of your life savings on head patting me. I mean, hey, I appreciate the dedication. Charcoal grilled. 1 month and 3 days. That means that, like, the expiration date didn't really change, did it? Yeah, it didn't really change from its raw state, so this is like a very quick, short-term solution. Okay, it does, like, you know, last longer than raw, but that is still very much a short-term cooking process. Because two months in a vessel. Okay, you'll probably get through that, right? You'll probably get through that, but that's a lot. That's a lot of food. Admittedly. Okay, hold on. It's funneling down. There we go. Let me douse this. I'm just gonna cook the rest of this on the campfire then. Probably. Still burning, so we should be good to do that. Oh my, I was almost gonna douse. I can take the pot off. I need my copper axe. I'm playing around on Flight of the apps I have. I find a B-52 Shadow Fortress. Is that another link that's being censored? Sorry, I'm like... It throws me off, unfortunately, when it gets cut off like that. Sometimes as well, if you type a dot extension on a word, which will consider it a file extension, and mistakenly try to link it to something. Oh no, I'm using voice. I think that's why. Oh no, that's fair. Yeah, I'm just leaving little asterisk pauses every now and then. Just throw me off a little bit. It's fine. It's fine. Don't we have any other... I do have some fire starters. In my opinion, it's faster than typing. That's fair. Some people also just do type faster than they necessarily talk, so... I think it's personal preference for the most part. Campfire. I'm relatively warm and cozy, especially standing next to these campfires, because I'm in full caribou winter clothing. So I am not freezing to death, everyone. It's true. I do also want to see what all I can make with leather. I'm not too worried about that right now. Unfinished leather sack. Leather sack. That probably could like act as like a very basic storage thingy. Hold on. Horse sack. Belt item. Leather sack. Oh yeah, no, it's just, yeah, okay. The sack. Sewing needle. Oh my god. Yeah, I forgot how many steps some of the items here take to make. I might also look through the default crafting table recipes, but I don't think there's too much there besides the juicer, which can be very useful. I'm not gonna discredit the juicer for its potential there. Framing saw. Probably put this lever away for a second as I cook more shipwreck. 3 months and 4 days. I feel like I want to keep this for the bad times. Because it is the longer lasting one. It's like 1 month longer than the previous batch that was charcoal grilled. I do notice that I might be getting severely less hungry at a very slow rate I was before without the food, the shipwreck, which I don't know how that works, because I do believe every food here has a base nourishing value, but depending on its saturation is where it really like does something to you, or does anything for you at that point. Because if the saturation is bad, it's gone. It's gonna be like used up in no time. Love how my Twitch crashes. Are you in the app? Yeah, you probably are in the app actually. Twitch has a tendency to do that. I would know. It's happened to me countless times. Yeah, no, that's fair. Happens a lot. It's annoying. It's tedious, but oh well. What can you do? One. Pom. And keep making more flour. Barley grain. And I mostly just want to get rid of all the discard meat. The meat that's gonna rot in fewer than that time. Which a lot of this is cooked. So I probably want to mix that with garlic. And use this garlic first. Before other stuff. Oh god, there's so much in my mind. Barley flour. Bucket. Barley flour. Bucket. Barley flour. Oh, it was a dummy. I did not use that optimally whatsoever. Terrible. Okay, we have 20 dough. Oh my. Oh wait, what? There's another type? We can make that in a pot. Saturation 10, water 5%. That's just vegetables though. What about, yeah, okay. Oh, that's fair. What I have to do is vegetable over vegetable. Garlic. Garlic. Okay, I can't use raw meat. What am I thinking? Let me cook this raw meat first. Let me cook this raw meat. Raw rabbit. That still expires in like 5 days because generally these things don't last too long when raw. At least, you know, unless you have like a climate cellar thing. It's called a cellar. But it is a more prosperous environment for food. Doesn't expire as quickly in that. But I think that's a good long while away from where we're at. So I'm not like too worried about it at this rate. Okay, let me just work all of this out. Barley flatbread dough, bunch of lavash wraps. We'll cook those up. Don't ask me how putting something that's already close to expiring in something will just magically make it like more preserved despite not using anything that does that. I don't wanna think about it. Barley flour. Probably keep this on standby for now. There we go. I do also just have some extra cooked venison here. And I also don't generally think we have as much freedom in our recipes at the moment. Because we just kind of don't. I don't understand what's going on in one of my servers. They're just sending okay and bean emoji. I don't think there's much meant to be understood there. You know, I think they're just... I think they're in the zone. And I think you should let them be in the zone and get all of that energy out. So that they don't spread it everywhere else. Okay, bean emoji, yeah. Let me check that actually. Cause on PC, yeah, I don't, I can't see that very well on PC because emojis don't propagate properly. But yeah, no, I looked it up. That's fair. But why is my question? Like, that seems like a very specific thing for me. Like if I was sending that, it would be very calculated. I wouldn't just be saying that for no reason. You know? That does not seem like a totally meaningless thing. Although then again, I might be looking into it way too much because those types of things always tend to be meaningless. Like just think about 6-7 like that's going around. Like, you can't tell me that it's at all close to its original context or whatever even. I do think some people overly hate it. And, like, don't get me wrong, it is annoying at times. And I understand if it's, like, annoying to you and you don't like it because of that. But there's a lot of people who are very overly critical of 6-7 as a meme. Because I think there's a lot of memes that have been very meaningless and abstract over the years, and I don't think it's very fair to isolate one specific example. Everyone nowadays is all about 6-7. I grew up with 1273. God, I don't think I know. I don't think I'm aware. I don't think I'm aware. Yeah, I don't think I'm aware. That's unfortunate. It's a song? Yeah, I'm not aware. I'm afraid I do not know. Although there's a lot of reasons. There's a lot of reasons that a lot of people would not know about something. I do think people tend to overestimate how widespread something can be. And like, don't get me wrong, things can absolutely be like everywhere. It's not me like dogging on any of that. It's just I feel like I get this feeling that a lot of people get very, very opinionated about how do I put it? About like what they listen to or like what they know about pop culture. And I just think it's a little silly. Also, I swear, flatbread. Yeah, I can't make a sandwich. Actually, no, wait. I lied. I accidentally applied the thinking that it has to be raw. It's not. Does not. I think they did change that at some point because I remember not being able to do much of cooked meat after the fact. But I think it's been in the game for a while now that I can make sandwiches in this mod pack specifically. That I can make sandwiches with cooked the meat. Then make a bit more bread. Hello? Oh, okay, it's empty. We go grab some water then. I'm also thinking about like the pacing of streams sometimes because obviously Minecraft is gonna be a little less intense and like high energy than like Overwatch, and if it isn't, then I'm probably doing something wrong. So I do want to keep in mind that Minecraft generally is going to be far more cozy than the other stream types, I would say. Like shooter games or Overwatch, and even like back when I did Tarkov streams, like the energy does change a little depending on the game we are playing. I think that should be good if I make that much dough. Though I can probably just make a little surplus even. There we go. My favorite time song. My favorite meme of all time has to be "Do You Know the Way?" I'm not gonna lie, I think like very early on in that meme's lifespan, I also got relatively sick of it. Because it was like, oh, it was everywhere. It was everywhere. I want to get into streaming, but I do not have a computer yet. No, that's fair. I would wait until you get a computer to really get into the nitty-gritty of things. You can think about stuff, obviously. You can think about stuff beforehand, but it's not intuitive to predict. I also think when people start streaming, I always tell people to make sure you're doing it for the right reasons. I try to stream my Xbox when I'm on. No, that's fair. You gotta work with what you gotta work with what you have. But I think a lot of people, when I hear that they want to stream, and some people very rarely, but they'll ask me for advice or like tips. And I think one of the just like outright biggest things that I think is like a must when you're considering streaming is what do I want to stream for? What am I doing this for? And I don't think inherently any reason is per se bad. I just think that as long as you understand your reasons and you know them, and like you kind of approach it from that perspective, and you remind yourself of your expectations, and you don't make sure they're realistic for whatever you're trying to do. That to me is a very big important part, because if you go into it, and obviously you might go into it a little unsure, and that's fine, that's okay. But there's people who do generally just want to do it for money, or at least, like, you know, they want it as a primary source of income, and they'll do things differently than people who are doing it mostly for fun as a hobby, or as a hobby. And obviously a lot of people tell you don't do it just for the money, because you'll get incredibly discouraged, which, yeah, that's true, you will be. It's going to be very, like, going to have a lot of friction to it, but some people have to, and I'm not gonna, like, consider them any lesser of a streamer if that's their primary motivation. I would be less likely to hang out with them personally, maybe, at least, you know, in my experience. But, you know, in, like, their personal happenings, I'm not gonna shame them for that, right? So I try to tell people, like, you know, be in touch with your expectations. What are your goals? What are your wants out of streaming? Not like other people's, you know? I think that's a very important part of it all. I need to think about how much a sandwich expires in 1 month. I could have this as a short-term food. I have to combine them though, right? Real quick. There we go. Let me put these in here. As I'm listening to you, I got jump scared by a bumblebee. Oh, in your like, in the outside or wherever you are. In the outside. I know. I'm so smart, guys. I'm just the smartest, aren't I? I'm sitting on a bench outside right now because it's nice weather. Oh, I wish. I wish. I am not gonna see a bumblebee outside. Absolutely not. There are some interesting Cube.js errors. Oh, I might not be up. Let me sleep for a second, because I would like it to not be snowing and night right now. Oh my, I did not put those sandwiches back in right. You put these away for the most part. I'm just eating my sandwiches. I think the saturation on sandwiches is very high, so I typically use it as a sort of like preliminary top-up food, and obviously beyond just that, soups and sandwiches are good at raising your max health because of the general balance they can bring to your in-game diet composition, which is, I think, is still the primary source of extra health. And I'm only saying I think because I haven't encountered any other ones, so I can only really assume that it is the primary one. If I'm wrong on that, well then, oopsie. I should have kept my cane on me, because without the cane, I cannot walk properly through snow. Cane. Oh god, that was lag. Probably a memory stutter, a garbage cleaning stutter. That's fine. Let me grab this vessel. Oh, there's like 2 ingots of bronze in here. Probably heat them up a little bit to free this vessel. Go over here. Charcoal. fire starter, light, and that's gonna be just putting that, oh, not there, in here. It might take a hot second to warm up, but it isn't too much, so it's probably gonna go quicker, because the more like raw liquid content potential there is in here, the longer it will generally take. So pardon me. Bit of phlegm there. What I also wanted to kind of casually mention and whatnot is that there is a new emote on Twitch and obviously in the Discord. I also improved, well, I don't know about improved, but I changed up the oil cans and we now have a chugging emote where I'm chugging oil. I'm chugging oil. So, you know, if you wanted to, I don't know, maybe make your slurp messages when you ask me to drink water a little more interesting. There's that. There's a chug emote. I'm hoping someone uses it, but you know, it's all kind of a part of the plan of like increasing the interactive nature of stuff. Like I wanna make the community feel very responsive in the sense that like I love the idea of fan art or sharing works together, like stuff that you're doing and all that lovely stuff. Bit more community sentiment, if you will. Do you use normal or crude oil? I must know. I also like the emotes. Well, okay. Listen, I'm not gonna answer that in like an engine way, but in like a lore-wise way, I drink a lot of crude oil. I love crude oil. I can't stop drinking crude oil. I'm sorry, it's just too good. I love crude oil. All right, I'm pouring these final ingots out. I can actually like, probably place this on ice. It'll melt the ice, but who cares? Oh yeah, there we go. There we go. We're good. We're good. Let's go back and consider making some more bronze in our alloying pot. There's one plane, I don't remember the name of it, but they were going to use vodka. Oh god. Oh god. That's horrifying. That's way too much. Copper. Oh my. It's like way too much. It's what's in the unknown. Bronze. That's a bronze mixture. I'd have to find like the closest. So hi Bailey, yeah. Hello. Hope that was a satisfactory. I'd have to find the closest number divisible by 144 to this, which I do believe is 1584, which is this is unfortunately over. So like, can I make this even smaller? I don't actually know. I would prefer to if I was able to. This is like 1 ingot. The unfortunate part is actually I do have some copper dust. Some regular copper dust at least. Because native copper, this is native copper, so it's like the, you know, the the funny haha native color of copper, which is just brown, reddish, orange type tint. Also, wait, hold on. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I wanted to purify this. So I had forgotten to. Because I'm a dummy. I'm a dummy. So yeah, I can purify this. That used up all of my water. And it didn't even get all of it. It was. Oh, good. That's good. Oh god. Yeah, no, this is not natively even. Oh wait, I can refine it even further. Kidding me? You can. Oh my! I did not actually realize that I was able to do this much processing at this point of the game. No, that's way better. That is way better. Hold on. It's gonna come in clutch. Okay, I drop things very close to my feet in snow. Consider it sand. Oh my god. Yeah, it's still not natively 144 though, but it's good enough. It's good enough. I'll get some of this purified as well. And crush it. Purified tetrahedrite ore. Drop in water to get clean dust. There we go. There we go. Just wait for that. Nice. Tetrahedrite dust. That's fat. Okay, that's good. We should be able to like get away with some more generous little subdivisions here then. Oh, there's a 30-second ad on Twitch. I did not spot that. I'm sorry. Sorry if my messages are a little delayed. I'm a little scattering at the moment. Also want to say sorry for missing that one stream the other day. My uncle came home early and we got paper thin walls. No, that's fine. You don't have to apologize for missing a stream. I get it. I understand. I'm not holding you hostage here, I promise. It's okay. It's okay. You grab some cassiterite sand. It's like a minimum of like 20-ish% that I need for that's still bronze. I have to find the nearest number that will properly balance out to, which in this case is like 1872. But I have my questions on whether or not that will actually work. Also, I need a crafting table, which I think there is one here. Yes. If I just kind of subdivide this a little bit more. That is bronze again. It is also not 872. Oh my god. That's 881. You're kidding me. You're kidding me, dude. You're kidding me. I'm gonna have to like think about combinations of these that are 72. Oh my lord, dude. That's crazy. What if I add another 144? I can do 2016. I'm just doing that to shorten it. That's 2036. That's 2000. But if I add 30... Oh my god. Sorry, hold on. This is like... Can I can't further subdivide this, can I? This is 30. This is 36. This is 144. This is 1928. I add a little bit more cassiterite. That's unknown now. There's not enough copper in this mixture. Unknown. Yeah, it's like majority tin now. Unknown. I'm in the bounds. My phone's getting low on battery. No, that's fine. Thank you for stopping by, though. It's very nice. It's very nice talking. I might honestly have to like just use like very tiny amounts of tin because I don't see how else I'm gonna be able to. Wait. Let me cook. Oh my god, that's like... Dude. Oh my god. Tetrahedrite dust? No. Can I make it smaller? Okay, maybe. Wait, hold on. I'm cooking. Wait, no, thank you for something. Bye. I appreciate your art. That is sketching is one of my favorite things. So that's fair. You can feel free to post as much of that as you want in the art channel, as long as it, you know, is within reason, of course. I don't think I'm gonna have to worry about that though, but you know, it's a good reminder. Also, thank you for the burger, Zero. Hello. Hello, Zero. It's been a while. How are you holding up? At this point, I'm just like, I'm being rage baited by we're trying to make an alloy. 72.6. What is that divided by 144? 5 times 144. 720. Here's the thing. What is like... Because like the minimum ratio for bronze is like what? 20 and 70. So 20 and 80 would be like... Yeah. So like 80% of 144 is what? We might want to grab a bigger number so that is like not an ass number to do. 80% of 720 is 576. And 20% of that would be the remainder, obviously. So... Oh, my brain. That would be one. Yeah, that would be 1 ingot. So that would be 144 minus 722 divided by 144 is minus... not minus 4. So like... Every 5 ingots... It's like this is 700. Because copper is this is native copper, so it's gonna be like even, quote unquote, in its, how do I put it, in its quote unquote distribution. 31. Like it's 30 millibuckets of tin. I just... That's 90. That's 120. It's 150. Cassiterite. Sand. If I do like, so this is 121 instantly. Like, yeah, it's just I don't know how I can maybe optimize this a bit more. Because again, this is tin. But what would be a way to get this is 720. What we could do is 720 is like, you know, what about like, what if we do that times 5? Like, this is a max capacity, so that wouldn't work, would it? Hold on. Because there is a common denominator, right? There is a common denominator, but I'm trying to, like, optimize this, and I think I'm just failing. I hope your day has been well, though, Zero. I'm afraid you did come in at, like, the boring, evil plane math section. 324 divided by 144 is 21. So like 21, 81, 80% of 21. It was fun. Got something neat. Oh, yeah. 80% of 21. Well, let me 21 times 144. Yeah, 300. 80% of 3,024. 20% of 3,024. Single serve ice cream maker. Let's go. Let's go. We're goated. We're goated of it. 604.8. And 2419. So like 2419. I'm gonna need more. I'm gonna need more of this then. I think. Yeah, I'm gonna need more copper if I want to do that. She's gonna have to go larger pieces. I'm gonna have to go larger pieces. It's not very cash money. Let me think about this. Because I do kind of want to do things optimally at the start, especially because every resource that stretches longer than it should is good. It's a good thing. It's a great thing even. I mean, I could probably like refine more of this tetrahedrite. Ow. Thank you for the burger. DDM, hi. Thank you for the burger. Burge indeed. Why is my E? Sorry, my mic arm was kind of like sagging a little bit. It's a little bit. My mic arm has erectile dysfunction. No, that's fair. That sounds good. Single serve ice cream. The Drooper. How's your night going, DDM? How's your night going? What are you up to? What are you up to? Well, I'm playing Minecraft. Snoozy and sleepy, yeah. That does sound like you at this hour. Also me, probably. Hi, oh my god. Zero and DDM in Zeb chat. This is like an ambitious crossover. This is never before seen. God, it really looks desolate out here when it's snowed. Snowed over. What? Oh, it's early winter. We're not even like full blown yet. Oh my god. I'm not looking forward to actual full blown winter. Oh my lord. Terrific. I should get like something to store way more water. I should bring way more barrels back. That would be good, I think. that would be grand for my plans. Dipping the ore in the water. Okay, that's clean. Now I can crush it and I can clean again. And I will get the ore dust. Oh my god. Free 9999. Now hopefully, if I'm not mistaken, we can slowly work with this into something that will actually turn into bronze. To let me think about those guys. Okay, maybe are we cooking? Are we cooking right now, guys? That still melts in the unknown. No. Wait. But this is above max capacity. What's gonna happen? Well, I mean, okay, maybe that's not like the worst thing. Because that's still, because the max capacity is still a preferable amount to like maybe sacrifice. Although this is probably way tighter. But just use bronze dust, like, you know, tiny bits and pieces of, like, one of these pieces is 36. Maybe like, if I use one of these, that's 30. This is like minimal. This is minimal waste, I think. Tetrahedrite dust. Maybe if I also make this smaller. Actually, no, that would not work, would it? Maybe, no. No, maybe if I flip it around, no. No, maybe not. That's bronze. Tetrahedrite. What if I add more dust? Pure dust. It's 270. 297. 399. No, I think generally we should be as least wasteful as possible. As efficient, if you will. Especially early on. That can only reflect later. $36. So that's like, I have to take a screenshot of this. Okay, that's the wrong. There we go. Copper alloy minimal. The ice cream bowl has to freeze for 24 hours before I can use it. Oh my. Oh my. That's quite a long time. Now, guys, I hope you guys enjoy waiting for something to heat up. Yeah, isn't that like, I had the mixture ready to go? Ah, that's unfortunate. Yeah, that happens sometimes. You guys ready to observe like Like just staring at a pot become warmer. This is all clay, by the way. Can I break this faster, please? Thank you. Pain and suffering, unfortunately, yes. Actually, I can make... Why am I making bowls? I'm actually dumb. I have to make ingot casts. There we go. There we go. Let's go. I thought that said kidnapping for instead of napping. Yeah. We're gonna kidnap the clay. That's not very good. That's not very advertiser friendly. I can't be having. I'm not very advertiser friendly. What am I talking about? As if anyone would sponsor me, dude. Holy cope. Lamau. You think anyone would sponsor me? I mean, maybe like a naughty brand, but like even then, it's like, do you know how much of a brand hazard I am? Like, let's be real. Let's be real here, guys. Do you know how much of a brand hazard I am? So I probably realized we wanna probably ideally make our clay molds into actual ceramic. It's gonna cool down really rapidly too, unfortunately. I'm probably gonna melt all the copper first. I go one by one by type of material. And then melt the tin in, because for a while I will just have something called unknown, which it is just unknown, a pot of unknown. If VTubers with big titties or VTubers that look suspiciously okay, you get sponsored, you can too. Well, maybe, but like here's the thing, right? And like I might be coping here. I probably am coping here. Copenhagen. At the very least, like, those are like still appealing to a big enough group of people that like the money is just worth it. Like, it's still appealing enough to appeal to people who might want a product. I cannot like with certainty tell if like a company would see value in sponsoring a plain VTuber with humongous hunglamadongas if like that just wasn't enough revenue to be worth it, you know? It's why you're very unlikely to see like a VTuber agency. I know it's a little bit different because like, you know, the success directly is tied to the appeal and, you know, the supportability of the VTuber, but you would never, like, probably in however many years see a VTuber agency like to debut a big hot aeromorph plane lady with boobs, because like that just wouldn't make enough money to them in my eyes. Like, they would just not see that as a worthy investment because one, it's too like niche to be appealing to a lot of people, and like, you know, am I crazy there? I just think the world needs to change then. I mean, I think we both know. I think a lot of people in this chat know that the world needs a lot of dents to buff out, you know? Like I think generally that is my sort of my mentality towards even just me as a VTuber, right? I am like inherently niche, so I'm not gonna appeal to everyone, obviously, but at the same time, I have a place somewhere, right? It's just that even like when you try to define that, like, you know, what niche do I belong to? One might say on the surface, oh, you know, you would appeal to people who like Anthrop Planes, but that's not who my audience is, you know? Like, there's a discrepancy there. I don't appeal towards necessarily aviation fanatics or aeromorphs specifically because they're just that rare. You don't encounter them very much. And like, sure, there are people in my audience who are adjacent to that audience or are kind of within that audience or not, but it's not like their main portrayal. It's like, I absolutely understand that a lot of people, and I don't fault them for this, will be like, you know, you're too niche, you're gonna hit a wall at some point, and I get that. I am very sure that I'm gonna hit a wall at some point. I think a lot of content creators do, if they can't get that appeal train going. So hi Rika, how you doing? Also, Bailey's still here. Welcome, welcome. Hope you're all having a good day. So, I hope my days. I hope I'm making your day a little better if it wasn't too great. But yeah, hi. How you doing? How you doing, Rika? You doing good? How you doing? I'm doing fine. I'm playing Minecraft. I can weld. What do you mean I can weld? Can weld. I don't want to weld copper dust. But anyway, kind of getting off track there. I was talking about like I have this conversation like every like 100 billion times every year, every stream, every hour of my life, but I think it's irrelevant because it's always relevant because I'm a content creator, and I will say I do care about growth. I primarily care about entertaining my audience and like doing what's right for them and like, you know, what they like to see. But growth is a part of that, and I understand that I am not traditional, you know, neither to the intended audience even, because they're just not very plentiful, nor to the audience outside of that, which is pretty much everyone. My taste been pretty good, but now it's great because I get to watch my favorite plain VTuber. Boop, thank you for the boop. Oh, I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear that. I just think, like, if you asked me, like, even a year ago, or even further back than that, if I would be at, like, 500 followers 2 years in, I would be in disbelief, because I do think, despite my, my nervousness around my progress thus far, I am... Thank you for the warrior, by the way. Ow. But despite my nervousness and like my anxiety around how much I've been growing, I do think it has been fine, honestly, and I think I am kind of performing better than expected, if you will. I do believe that genuinely. In my own eyes, I do think I'm doing better than I expected, and also just like predictingly, like not just my own words, but also like, you know, this is more of a hater thing, but like a lot of people, even like in like good intentions, right, because they didn't want me to like get too frustrated, they were like, you know, you're probably gonna have a lot of struggles growing, and absolutely, of course I do, but you know, I'm a little delusional. Which means that I really want to be at a point where like I can keep going, and you know, I'm gonna be real, it's probably not very doable because like every niche has its wall, but I kind of just don't want to rest at the idea that it is impossible without trying it, you know? Is that like crazy to me? Because obviously I understand what I'm trying to achieve as like a big end dream goal or whatever. Not end dream goal, but like, you know, a big ambition is like I wanna kind of smash the expectations and like the preconceptualized notions of what it takes to be a, you know, I would say like I guess for lack of a better term, it's like I think at what point does the VTuber's voice matter? At what point does like does it quantify being an established community or being a large community? You know, and I would love to be able to break out of the usual stereotype or expectation of, you know, hitting a wall, because I would love to inspire other people who don't have like very usual ideas or, you know, designs in their head bouncing around to, you know, go out there and make something that they want to make, or, you know, maybe compromise, you know, what do they want to make, but it's so interesting to a broader audience. And I think a lot of people just don't bother. A lot of people don't start. They don't bother because why would you? You know, if you were starting out and, you know, you were learning about all this VTuber stuff and all, like what does well and what does like what's like appealing, and there's all these tips and tricks that people post, like you would have very little reason to, especially if you're making like a brand new character, because that's what a lot of VTubers do. They'll make a character that is specifically reserved for VTubing then and there. Why would you purposely make your life hard, right? If you didn't really feel too picky about self-expression, right? But like when you do feel picky about self-expression and you have to be unique, you have to be niche, whatever, just as a natural symptom of being unique, usually, like a bit too eccentric, a bit too esoteric. It's like you kind of do get the short end of the stick, but at the same time, I do think you also get some very interesting strengths. Now, I will say, I feel like I'm a very extreme example of that, but you know, meow meow, hello. Is this who I think it is? Oh my god, welcome to the stream. We're vibing. We're talking about like content creator growth and whatnot, and how, like, you know, it's kind of inevitable that I'm gonna keep facing difficulty during that, but I'm hoping to, you know, god, my brain blanked out. I'm hoping, like, you know, still surpass expectation. And I do want to think like what you guys think of that generally, for those of you who have any input. Now that's fair. You got this one. Thank you. Also, yeah, it's fuck. I'm low-key blanking right now. Hold on. I got distracted by something really bad. Not really bad, but like I just got a message. Fucking yeah. Hi, Dan. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I blanked out so bad. I'm so sorry. Hi. Yeah, no, my brain did not brain there for a second. Get this, you start stream as an anime girl for Twitch thumbnail, eventually you morph into an airmorph Twitch VTuber. That'd be a novelty concept for like a stream, as like a funny haha. I would say that'd be funny. Be right back. Well, you take your time, Bailey. Don't feel too pressured. Hi, Lamau. It's okay. Yeah, no, I like sometimes. I'm like something so hard, dude. It's crazy. Just still heating up. It's already molten, surprisingly. It's gonna take a while to pour out, though. Oh my god. Wait, am I actually dumb? Oh my god, I might actually be stupid. Holy, I'm actually... Oh my god. All of those molds despawned. It's only slightly similar to my Discord username anyways. I'm surprised you got it. Oh yeah, no. That your Discord username is surprisingly embedded in my in my mind, and I do see people using X as a replacement for O every now and then, so I wasn't too caught off guard. I recognized it very quickly. But I just like talking about, like, touching on the various aspects of content creation. And I think it's very important to be able to, like, talk about something without necessarily leaning into the gloomy aspect of it, because, like, very, cutthroat wise, or, like, how do I put it? In a very literal manner, I guess. It can be very grueling to do content creation, because at the end of the day, it's better to lift people up and, like, to work together, but some people will not be like that. Some people will try to detract from you, whether they be other streamers or other viewers. Now, I've had that with less of other streamers, but streamers will usually do it in a different way. They'll use people as stepping stones, whatever, if they have, like, not great intentions, but it can be a very golden space, especially if you get a lot of hate comments, you get a lot of hate raids, even, targeted harassment and whatnot. Now, obviously, I don't really deal with targeted harassment. I deal with, like, people passing by and saying really horrible, weird shit because, they don't know any better. Well, okay, maybe that's infantilizing them. I don't like that, actually. They know better. They just don't want to care. That's better. And so it can be very, like, stacked up, and it is stacked up, and I'm not denying that. I'm never denying that. I get a lot of dislikes on my YouTube Shorts clips. I get a lot of dislikes on anything I upload that isn't, like, hitting the right audience immediately, or a smaller audience. That is the right one, because, like, sometimes it recommends it to, like, 50-year-old Facebook moms, and it's like, what is this? So why am I seeing plain boobs on my screen or tablet or phone, whatever? Yeah, no, that's, like, guaranteed, like, dislike bomb, or, like, Fortnite kids, whatever, that type of stuff. YouTube algorithm doesn't always get it right, but usually it does, and I don't blame the algorithm half the time. So, yeah, that's like a lot of yapping. I'm doing a lot of yapping and not a lot of talking. I'm yapping, but nothing's being said. It's like, ugh. Okay, it's glowing white. How fast will these tongs just be shredded? Oh dear. Wait, is it paused? Is it paused when I'm in the pot menu? I didn't know that. Hate is incredibly normalized in spaces, especially when things have merged between reality and the digital domain. People don't register that people are behind the screen. Oh yeah, I see that all the time. Because people will... I'm not a big fan, and I'm not running an essay on it right now. That's fair. That's fair. I hope you do get to finish that. You get to say everything you want to say, but I think it's so crazy to me because, especially very rapidly, and a lot of time, a lot of people will be quick to say or still maintain that stance of, like, cyberbullying isn't real, just close the computer. But in an age where your address just kind of isn't sacred anymore, it's just not that easy. It's not that simple, and anyone who hates you sufficiently enough can really make your life a bit annoying and not very comfortable and safe feeling. So I don't like it when people start a conversation like that, because it's just not productive, right? And so that's, like, my first issue. A lot of the time, a lot of people will blame, like, a receiver of hate or a victim of hate, and then put it on their shoulders to be different, which I think has always been kind of poo-poo. Like, but, like, what can you really do? Because, like, going about punishing these acts is, like, it's its own, like, rabbit hole. But one, that doesn't mean I have to like it. Two, big point in my eyes is that when a person like that leaves a hate comment, a lot of people will forget that for them, it is just like a little hate comment, one hate comment maybe for today, or even like for forever. But when you are someone who gets so extensively hated on, you know, I'm gonna assume like in an undeserved manner in this case, you kind of like, how do I put it? You will be seeing that constantly, day in, day out, especially if you're being targeted. But like each one of those commenters will comment that like once. Most of them at least, unless they're like a die-hard hater, but they'll comment it once and then go about the rest of their life. But for the person being hated on, that is like a constant, never-ending like torrent of just like annoyances and then like anxiety, and it's an incredibly like uneven dynamic that I think is like very much something that needs to be like talked about more often, because I don't think there are like perfect solutions at all anymore. And the solutions that are there are bordering on like government censoring everything, which is also its own, you know, slippery slope, and I'm not a fan of that path either. So, you know, it's a very hard conversation to have, but I think this is a conversation that we need to have as not just a VTuber space, but as a wider member and group of humanity as a large, as a collective, as a large, you know, collective, or you know, yeah, well, bigger than just ourselves entity, because it goes in so many corners of our lives that like, even if you're not specifically talking about cyberbullying or like hate campaigns or like, you know, whatever, that still ties back into like, you know, marginalized people or stuff like that, and you can kind of get around on a lot of topics. So hi Definite MC, I see you over there in YouTube chat. Hope you're doing well. I don't really have much more to say on the topic because like I have kind of talked it to death, but that's like why I'm so motivated. Thank you for the follow, by the way. Thank you very much. That's kind of why I'm very motivated to break that expectation. And like, don't get me wrong, as I've said, as I've repeated, and as I understand, that is a big ask for myself. That is a very mildly delusional goal in what I feel like is a kind of a necessary way, because let's not pretend that doing that goes against a lot of people's perception and, you know, active like knowledge of how let's like narrow it down to VTubing, how VTubing works, right? Like, in a lot of people's minds, and even my own for a long while, and like still like internally a little bit, someone like me could never grow as big as like someone who's a little more accessible and relatable to like a bigger mass of people, which on paper, sure, is likely to be true because of just like how many people are ever going to be interested at any given time. But I also don't want to assume that it's impossible because of like the fact that no one has ever really, in VTubing specifically, pulled it off on such a niche, like small, weird, abstract, like esoteric concept of like a plane of tits. Because like there's plain VTuber models, for example, but like they're anime women with plain themes, and that's just more accessible. That's more appealing to like the average VTuber viewer, right? So obviously they might possibly have a bigger expansion cap, right? They have a bigger max potential reach, which is that's how it works for a lot of things. That's not even VTubing specific. That's just a lot, you know. But going outside of that is gonna be like focusing on like talking to people specifically and like beyond just the service level appeal, you're gonna have to try to reach towards people and like personally on like a personal level, like a deeper level than just, oh, you know, this seems interesting or their content seems interesting. You're gonna have to like meet them at a deeper interest, and I think generally that's what my streams kind of focus on. Despite, you know, being mostly me chilling on gameplay, I like having conversations, I like talking about things, and I'm a serious yapper. I'm absolutely chronically yapping right now, but I often struggle to relate with people on interests alone. For example, like what shows do you watch, or what mangas do you read, what books do you read, stuff like that. I struggle to do that. I don't have like very strongly opinionated favorites about food or about like stuff like that. I will say it to be like, I will try my best to like, you know, listen and you know, do the kind thing in a conversation and listen to people talking, but like I am very clueless culturally on what a lot of people might do in their free time. So I like to kind of connect on a more deeper level of like conversation that isn't just like what people are interesting what do people are interested in. I mean, like, you know, it's like, because I think a lot of people will define themselves as their interests. Do I think this is more true for some people than others? Yes, I think there are people who very much revolve around their interests and their like activities, but I also do think people are more than their interests and their activities and even their thoughts or their emotions. And you know, you might ask, well, then what is a person? Well, you know, I think the person is the one that thinks about that, or has the capacity to, you know, think about that and realize that, you know, maybe there's more to me than just my thoughts that happen or my emotion that happen and all that lovely stuff. You know, we're all here to exist, you know, and I think there's more layers than some people might ever really want to explore actively even. It's why I think, you know, maybe it is possible to break through the existing preconceptualized niches, you know. Is it gonna be hard? Absolutely. I'm glad it's relatable, by the way. Is it gonna be like mind-bogglingly hard for me to grow like big in theory, like as a little like hypothetical? Yes, absolutely. I have no doubt about that. Even like as an appealing design, right? It's gonna be hard. It's always hard. But I kind of, again, I'm going back to like I forgot my headphones in mode for a second when they connect to my phone and Twitter stole them for a second, so I was confused when you were talking about the audio. No, that's fine. That's fine, Zero. I'm just I'm coming back on the whole like looping back on the whole like thing where if being a mainstream content creator who has more potential for a max ceiling of like of audience reach or growth or impact, whatever, if that is already hard, right, which we're not gonna deny it. I think a lot of people might think that I'm trying to downplay the struggle of people who have maybe more accessible streamer concepts. I'm not trying to do that at all. I think it's absolutely always hard no matter what, but I think it is a little hard to honestly say that. And I've seen people say this, like that the playing field is equal, because it's just not. I think no playing field in life is truly equal a lot of the time, in some way or another, fair or unfair. You know, there's just a lot that can influence stuff. Be that like people's prejudice against something or people's assumption about something. It's always going to be present. It shouldn't be that way. In an ideal world, it would not be that way, but it is. So, you know, I think it's very important to be able to recognize that there are issues, there are difficulties, there are people who have more trouble or more hate or more, you know, vulnerability to people who expressly target them for hate, without detracting from generally how hard it is to make it as a content creator. I think those two can coexist, you know. Sorry. Those two can coexist. And I feel like a lot of people don't want them to coexist because it's either like everyone's on a level playing field, or you know, everything's snow. Like, I don't know, what did they say? What did the woke left? I hate reading Twitter posts when I say the word woke. Ugh. Blech. But yeah, so like, if you can find yourself in the position where, like, okay, some VTubers do the potentially arbitrary traits that do not pertain to their ability as a content creator, nor necessarily why they should be preferred over any other person. If that, you know, and it does, like, truthfully, it does, you know, you might face difficulties because you are a VTuber with a darker complexion. You might face difficulties if you are male, or, like, you know, there's layers to it. Obviously. You will face difficulties if you're trans, for example. If you don't want to admit that the world isn't sunshine and rainbows, I guess on some level, does that make sense? No matter what people say, there's no participation trophies in life. Is autocorrect going on there? I'll see if it was, but yeah, no, it's the world definitely is not rainbows and sunshine, but I think a lot of people just also don't want to recognize the problem half the time, because they don't want to think about it in some way, some like weird, strange, deranged way. They don't want to have it in their headspace that, like, that's an issue and that's a problem, because I don't know, I would have to look more into the mental gymnastics of it. And, you know, obviously I'm talking about the really far gone ones on Twitter, you know, the ones that are posting like that all the time. But it's, how do I put it? Let me phrase this really carefully. Like, if you exist at the junction of every content creator will have difficulties in their path to growth, regardless of who they might be, or, like, you know, how people might view them as having an easier time in their growth. Everyone's growth problems in content creation is ultimately relative to their own experience, and someone might be envious, and, you know, I'm guilty of this. I try not to, like, you know, let it stick around as a thought, because I don't think it's a very productive thought. I think it's a very destructive thought, actually. You might get envious of someone's growth and compare yourself to them and start finding reasons to bash yourself. But in your eyes, they might have had it easier, but in their eyes, they have maybe different issues. You know, they have different obstacles that have come along their way that they maybe conquered, and in the same way, you have your own obstacles, and maybe you grow a bit slower, but everyone does have their pace at the end of the day. And I think there are people who will just grow slower. That is, I do think that is a thing. Do I think that's necessarily a bad thing? No. And I think a big problem as well, additional point there, is that generally it seems that, like, ever since, like, you know, post COVID, I think it's been even worse than it was before. Now, I don't think I need to hint at the fact that number go up has been conflated a lot with personal self-worth and like what you mean as a person. Clout farming is a disease, okay? I'm just saying, you know, people want to get numbers, people want to do all of that because they make it feel like they have any inherent worth in their life, when I don't think that's what it should be based off of. That's like a crazy thing that I have to say in the year of 2026. I almost said 2025, by the way. I had to correct myself, like, in my brain. But, you know, number go up, number good. And more than ever, I have seen it reliably happen that like, numbers alone and, like, subscriber count gained per, like, month alone, or, like, even all these numbers, all these analytics, if you don't have big number, then you're bad, you're evil, you're a bad content creator that should not make things. Because I don't know what the logic is, because at the end of the day, you could make like an absolute masterpiece. If you don't show it anywhere, it's not, no one's gonna see it. Or if you can't find it anywhere, no one's gonna see it, right? So automatically, to me, I mean, in my mind, that feels like I can't possibly tie the value of a content creator just to how well they quote unquote perform in terms of like optimal growth numbers that are going larger and larger and optimal revenue and stuff like that. The way I always saw is that people are choosing dopamine when they do that, because when the numbers go up, their brain releases endorphins, causing more and more dopamine, and they get some high. When they get the same deal every time, they can't go. They can't go into this withdrawal. I guess because that's just my perspective of it. I do think there's like a lot of factors. I can't assume that everyone has the same like driving force behind that type of stuff, because rarely anyone does. So I never want to assume too much, but I just kind of keep it in my mind, like what I think might be like a big motivator sometimes. And obviously that changes with metas too. Those of you know who remember a day where that YouTube metas would be shifting more constantly. They still shift now, and I think there are still, you know, changing YouTube metas, but they're not as severe as they once were. They don't swing as wide or as differently as they once did. I do think it changes over time, but I have this feeling that the YouTube meta has been very stagnant for a while, because a lot of stuff has been so optimized and so, you know, so maximized. A lot of the AI slop channels you see just churn out videos en masse, and they don't get caught in time for them to stop earning ad revenue. That's its own whole can of worms. But I guess if I had to condense this you know, rant into like a final closing point about like kind of lose back to what I want and what I'm trying to do content for, is that obviously I'm trying to do content because I want to enjoy myself and feel fulfilled in life too. And I believe personally that content does have a place or a chance at that. But it's also like, why do I gain joy out of you know, doing content, for example? And I think, as I said at the very beginning of the stream, I think people need to know why they're streaming as like a super important thing that will kind of, in my mind, predetermine every other next step after that, right? That's of my opinion. I don't really know. I don't think I have much authority on that, because it's not like I'm like a full-time pro VTuber, but that is how I see it in my eyes. So let me think here. How can I condense this pretty well? I think as a whole, I hope to shatter expectations on a macro scale in terms of content creation. Like, you know, people themselves will be doubtful, people will be like skeptical of stuff, but when an entire like space kind of adopts that same sentiment of like, you know, these people will make it, these people will not make it, or these people will remain small, these people will not remain small, breaking that expectation is hard and is nigh like monolithically difficult, I would dare even say, because you're kind of fighting against a subconscious thing a lot of the time, because a lot of people will maybe not want to bring other people down, but like subconsciously, even in their mind, if they try something radically new that has never been tried before and they struggle, they won't necessarily want to keep up with it as much. I think like exhausting yourself at the very start is a dangerous thing that people can get into, and I don't think that's limited to VTubing, of course, but yeah. Let me take a moment to just also clear my head a little bit, because oh my god, my thoughts are bouncing around. There's also 2 minutes until ads, but let me wrap this up so I can play the ads can play and I don't allow you guys to miss anything. I think I would rather not make it trying to make it than like be comfortable with the idea that I thought it was impossible because everyone else said it was. And when I asked them why it's impossible, they don't ever really give me a reason that isn't just like a matter of people being shallow, or people being like mean, or people being like you know, ignorant about what they might want to be willing to explore or to try, right? And I don't really like those reasons because they're very much reliant on the idea that people will always be this equally terrible, or you know, you'll never find any breakthrough whatsoever. And I don't like that, because has anyone actually been able to prove it's impossible, or is it just so insurmountably hard that it feels that way, that it feels impossible? Is it like a case of that, or is it truly impossible? Because I don't think I know people who can like give me an answer on whether or not it's truly impossible. They can only give me reasons why it is probably impossible, but not for sure, you know? And that is why I would rather like die on that hill trying than never know, you know? And who knows, I might meow 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 meow. Was that good for you? Ads are in 6 seconds, by the way. 6. Never mind. 1 second now, or starting soon. Usually it takes a moment though for the ads to actually start, because I don't know, Twitch needs to find an ad to put in front of your faces. Last thing, I can't find says you're not hanging up on the topic. The first did it, okay, so I don't think it's impossible, because if they could do it, shows that anything out there is possible. Oh, okay, that's true, but like even then, furries also have their like brick wall still, you know? Like furry VTubers, furry YouTubers, they hit a brick wall of stagnation at some point. Even like Whiskey Dingo is like huge for a furry VTuber, but like it's still very like there's that brick wall again, and I think that's purely because obviously when you market yourself to the furry fandom specifically, which I don't really necessarily do, I'm more inclined to get viewers from there. Because, you know, it's a little bit more natural, but even that's not guaranteed. So it's tricky, because furries kind of like have a much stronger sense of like kind of having this wall of like dauntingness around them for outside observers, because it's a far larger thing, it's a far bigger thing. I'm an anthroplane, I'm an aeromorph. A lot of people don't even know this fandom exists, right? And it's so tiny that you could probably fit the entire fandom in a concert hall, right? That's how small it is. So when you kind of get into that headspace, I think there's an unusual opportunity here, because like people are kind of used to furries in the sense that they've seen them before, they know what they want out of them, they know if they like them or not, and stuff like that. So I just feel like it's kind of like a built-up wall almost of like, you know, they don't kind of care for that content. But as someone who is an aeromorph, a lot of people don't even know. And obviously it's safe to assume that an anti-fur probably would not like, you know, people who don't like furries would not like anthroplane content. That's a very safe assumption to make. However, there is still like that degree of initial like oomph, that like shock factor almost, for lack of a better word. Like what is on my screen, or like this is so like memorable in terms of silhouette, or like in terms of design and stuff like that. Because like you can't tell me that if you look at me like for like 10 seconds and form that memory, that you're getting that out of there, you know, that you're getting that out of your head. It's a very memorable, very like striking, very like in your face concept, and that is its own little like blessing, you know. It does keep eyes there that wouldn't otherwise maybe keep staying there, or like even eyes that wouldn't look at all, were it not for just like the sheer oomph of what is that, you know? I need to like, yeah, but yeah, that's like probably all I have to say for now on the matter. If you could like tell me anything that you have as input, but I'm also stopping myself from continuing to talk because I'm like generally talking so fast that my memory can't even like say what I'm saying. Like I will forget what I just said like a sentence ago because I'm just yapping that hard. So I need to like I'm just trying to do like a couple of grounding exercises. Thank you for the slurp, by the way. Oh my god. It's like the perfect use for that would be the perfect use for the chug emote too. Let me see if I can. I ought to be careful with this because I do have a standing desk, but like, so yeah, there's a chugging emote. God, I'm happy with that. I'm glad that I did a decent job with that. I think I like that. I'm a fan of that. I'm a fan of that. Yeah, Mafia's moving faster to your brain. Does that happen? Must be 2 BF or nothing. There's no level out here drawing. That's fair. Okay, I'm feeling myself grounding a little bit. I'm gonna try to raise my table here. And you know, my tracking's gonna get really wonky because of that, but I'm gonna just try to stand up. Because my tracking's gonna get a little weird when I do this, but I want to see if it's even possible for me to stand up while streaming, so I just want to try it, you know? Okay, I think that's a little high. That's a little high there. Let me lower it just a smidge, maybe? Like where I usually would be in terms of like when I'm sitting down. So now I'm standing. I'm using my standing desk to the fullest of its abilities. My VTuber model is tracking relatively fine still, so yeah, I might honestly start standing up every now and then and alternating between sitting down streaming and standing streaming, which gaming while standing up is like very interesting to me. It feels so weird, but yeah, like also like so like not strange at the same time, and I'm not sure where to place it in my head because I'm just so not used to it at all. You know, it's like I'm not used to this. But it's also like, oh god, it's weird. But it does like relieve a lot of my built up pressure as well. I could do the treadmill if I could play Minecraft at the same time. That's so real. By the way, are you making bullets? Is there copper things laying on the ground look like bullets on copper things laying on the ground? Those are seeds. They are not bullets, unfortunately. I am not at a point where I can make bullets. Is there even? I think there might be a rifle. There is a rifle. There are guns. Yeah, I'm not at a point where I can make guns right now, so that is probably at a very far away point. I am getting like a little woozy, like using the standing desk, but I don't know. I'll have to get used to it, but it will probably do really good wonders for my posture. I'm sure it would absolutely do great things for my overall state of spinal health. So I'm not complaining. I should like sleep in the bed of Minecraft and like go to the lake and grab some more water and probably like think about what I'm gonna do with all this bronze, which is probably make some tools first of all. So we're gonna grab some water here. There we go. Now we are a little exhausted because of that. We are a little exhausted because of that. We place the water barrel right here. And drink a little bit. I do generally think though that it would also be a good idea for me to wear shoes while like my proper shoes while standing and streaming. We know I've been thinking about getting all the stuff to set up a streaming type of deal. IRL though I'd be blacksmithing, and I'm wondering if there's a way to set up an anvil so I can sit down and hammer in blacksmith. Yeah, I mean I'm sure there's like a way. I've seen some like very wacky stream setups that are like specialized for something very specific, but you know, you'd have to kind of think about the setup a bit and tinker with it as well, and think about like the requirements and whatnot. It's also a very big one. Oh my, I can't believe I can stretch and like move. God, I love standing desks. I don't use the standing function all too much because if I don't use supporting souls, I can get very achy feet very quickly. But it's probably not terrible that I alternate every now and then. But you know, that's neither here nor there. I gotta make sure I also I don't go too crazy on the progression here, because I don't want to have light when they get on next time, like have a heart attack. The bloomery, I believe, is like 8 times. Oh yeah, it's like 32 ingots. Yep. Okay, that's fair. I probably would want to make some tools first and foremost. For the bronze toolkit in general, just having bronze items, which shouldn't be too impossible. It should be very doable actually, for the most part. I would have to heat up this bronze and obviously smack it with a hammer. What else could I possibly need right now out of that? I think I'm like good to try it at the very least. I need to also figure out the numbers as well of the perfect combos and hits and whatnot. So we'll see. I would say I would want to probably insert an ingot here first. Probably I want a hammer first thing. Also, the music has stopped playing. I just noticed that. I'm a silly goose. Did it just replay the same song? Okay, I think we've actually... There's no way we've been through the entire thing, right? I don't know. I could have been. Let's see. That is on 90, 90, 89, 88, 87, 86, on 80. This is 85, 86, 87. Let me actually lean closer, because like holy shit. 86, 80. Oh my god, I keep forgetting how awful. Like 90, 89, 88, 87, 86, 85. I think that's 88. I think that's 88. We'll have to assume it's 80, 88, but I'm not too confident about that. And our last hits have to be shrink. Well, our last hit has to be punch and a shrink. Means that we need to get to 70. 70 divided by 16 is 4.3, so like 4 shrinks plus 70 plus 2 plus 2. I mean, we could do like, let me go our notepad. Bronze tools.txt. That would be like bronze hammer 88, if that's assuming it is 88. I might be wrong on that. That'd be 4 shrinks. 3 punches, and then like 1 shrink, 1 punch. So like 4 times 16 plus 6 plus 16 plus 2 is 88, so that should work. That should work. That should worky work. So we'll see if my eyeballs did not deceive me. They probably did, because they always do. I'm kind of blind, not gonna lie. Not gonna lie, chat. I'm kind of oop it. I'm gonna oop it. I'm not gonna lie. Oh my god. Okay. I mean, a little quirky with it, aren't I? Oh my god. A little quirked up. The planes get a little quirky at night here. The planes get a little quirky up, a little quirked up. And just heat these up. Heat this thing up. So I can work it and smack it into a tool. Ooh. Bright red. I have to make sure it does not melt. Okay, I have funnies in my hands. Okay, thank God. I had enough of hongs to keep it in my inventory, but like 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 1 2. Okay, it was 88. I was correct. My offhand item was also overheating. That's unfortunate. That is a hammerhead though, so we got that out of the way. I'll worry about the actual tool stick later on. As for our next tool, now that we have a appropriate hammer, I probably want to think about a pickaxe. Well, let me lean closer here, because I got a 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45. So 41, 42, 43. I'm gonna assume 43, because that's what I'm seeing. So bronze pickaxe 43. 43 with a combo of minus 15. So that's like 43 plus 15 minus 7 minus 2. So 49. 49 divided by like 13 is 3.7 something. So like, actually, hold on. 16 plus 2 plus 13 plus 2 plus 2. Oh, wait, hold on. I'm cooking. 2 shrinks, 1 upset. It's like 16 plus 16 plus 13 plus 2 plus 2. So like 2 punches. Then like 1 draw. 1 bend, 1 punch. Let's see if that adds up in a sequence. 16 times 2 plus 13 plus 2 plus 2 minus 15 plus 7 plus 2. I think so. My calculator math adds up. So I think that'll work. We'll have to see. We'll have to see if we can heat the thing up, and if my assumption that the arrow was on 43 is true, then it'll work. It would be great if I got some more sticks though, although I'm sure it has enough durability for me to quickly pick it up and like get it into the anvil and like whatnot. I'm sure it's nothing too crazy to worry about, so it's fine. It's okay, guys. It's okay. Don't panic. Don't panic, or else I will kill you. Should be good in any moment now. Right, red. We're gonna get a little harder. A little harder. A little harder, guys. So 2 shrink, 1 upset. So yeah, hold on. 2 shrink, 1 upset. 2 punchers, 1 draw, 1 bend, and 1 punch. Okay, we did it. I was correct in my assumption. Okay, we have a pickaxe head and a hammerhead. Right now, immediately, I'd say I want an axe head as well, which is on... Let me lean here. 70, 71, 72. If you're a plane, can I be a boat? I mean, sure, if you want to be a boat. Let me actually see the actual correct sequence for that. So 72. Upset, hit, any hit, and punch. So bronze axe is 72, right? Because hi Lily, welcome to the stream. How are you doing? Well, hope you've had a good day. So like 72 minus 72 minus 5 or 72. What? I'm scared. 72 minus 13 plus a minimum of 3 minus 2 is 60. So 60 divided by how do I want to approach this? That's awkward. 13 times 4 times 7. No, that's awkward. 13 times 3 plus 7. No. Am I certain that this is right? That is very awkward. Although I could actually hold on. 72 minus 13 plus 6. Because I can do any hit. That can be any hit. So minus 2, that would be 63, which is a much like easier number to get to, I think. So like 4 times 13. Actually 5 times 13 maybe? No. 3 times 16 plus 7. Actually 48 plus 13 plus 2. Actually, wait, am I cooking? Am I cooking, guys? That's gonna be like 3 shrinks, 1 upset. So like 48 plus 13 plus 2 is then 1 punch to get to that. So it's 63. 1 punch. And then that would be 1 upset, 1 medium hit, and then 1 punch, right? So if I do that, 16 times 3 plus 13 plus 2 plus 2 plus 13 minus 6 plus 2. It should add up. That should add up. That maths out. in my end. We're gonna have to see again. 6-7, okay. Thank you, Lily. If you don't know what I'm doing math for, in this anvil, when you have a recipe, you are meant to get this green arrow aligned with the red arrow while also adhering to this final sequence at the top. The less hits you can do this in, the better the quality of the tool, which means that I have to do math. Does that make any sense? Big brain plane. Listen, so what I do, and you know, there's a lot of ways to go about this. I will grab the actual arrow, like amount or number, and I will subtract the final sequence from it, whether it's like removing or adding a value, because that means that whatever number I get out of that is the number I want to put myself into on the arrow bar, so that I can just input the final sequence and always get a perfectly forged tool. So 1 2 3 1 1 1 1 1 1. I did it. I did it. I was getting a little nervous there. I was doubting myself, and no, it's perfectly forged. I did it. I win. I'm a winner. Okay, I'm gonna sit back down now because my feet are saying that. Let me actually descend to my table, my desk first, and I'll follow suit as it goes along. I slowly descend, and my neck kind of breaks for a second because it's like my entire desk is lowering. Oh my. I'm so fancy. I'm so fancy with it. Hello. Anyway, we have an axe. We have a pickaxe. We have a hammer. I think that's like good for now. Maybe a shovel. Do we feel shoveling? Do we feel shovelly today? I might feel a little shovelly today. You know, I wouldn't be against it. Eating my barley sandwich with venison. I'm not shitting for weeks. We can do a shovel. We can do a shovel as a treat. That's precisely on 100. So, On's shovel, 100. With any hit and a punch last, so -3 at minimum, -2. Let's do -6 actually, just to get a more advantageous number. Actually, what if we like do a hard hit? 100 plus. Actually, no, I'm doing that math wrong, aren't I? 100 plus 9 -2, like 100 plus 6 -2. It's 104. So like, I'm trying to think here. +2 +2 +2. Actually, let me think. 100 plus 3 -2 is 101. That's like, seems like a pretty ass number, not gonna lie. Seems like a very ass number. So 100 minus, like a heavy hit would be like what? 100 plus 9 minus 2. It's 107. It's 107. 100 divided by 6 times 16 plus 7 plus 7. No. 103. 100 plus 6 minus 2 is 104. 104. 96 times, no, 16 times 6 is 96. Plus 16 is 112. Minus 6 is 106. I could honestly just bootleg this. Cause like I think I have written this down before. So 100 minus 3. No, 100 plus 3 minus 2. So like that'd be like 96 plus like what? Plus 7. So like 6 shrinks, 1 bend, and I'd need to like subtract 3 from that. So like 6 shrinks. It's like 6 times 16 plus 7 minus 3. Am I cooking right now? I might not be cooking right now. Minus 3 plus 2. No, hold on. I'd have to get like. It's because I want to avoid like repeating a bunch of the same hit, but I'm not sure if I can here. I'm not sure if I can do that. 101 divided by like 13 plus like 7 plus 2. It's 100 flat. Oh my god. 100 plus 6 minus 2 is 104. 100 flat is attainable. 16 times 6 plus 7. Maybe 96 plus plus. Say, what if you like 13 times 7 plus 7 plus 2? There's a lot of ways I can go about this. Like it's like always repeating the same damn instruction, man. 104. Wait, 104 with 8. Hold on. Is that gonna be above the threshold though? 104. So like 100 plus 6 minus 2 is 104. So that means that like if I go to 104, I could do like minus 6 plus 2. That'd be like what? We could try that. 8. So like that's 8 upsets. That's 8 upsets. And 1 medium hit. 1 pot. Wait, hold on. 8 upsets. So like 8 times 13. Minus 6 plus 2. Is that it? Does that just narrowly fit in? I think it narrowly fits in the threshold for Perfectly Forged. I'm probably way overthinking this, but I'm curious. Now I'm curious. Now I'm curious, man. We'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what goes on. We'll see what comes out after I smash this tool a bunch of times. Also, I hope you. I don't know what you've been up to, Chloe, at the time, but hope whatever you might be working on, or like whether that be like content or whatever. I don't know. Whatever you're working on is going pretty well. I enjoyed that that time with what was that game name? That little company game, that like corporate game. I remember that very fondly. That was why I joined to begin with, because Grin invited me, and I was like, sure. I mean, I think I said that. I think I generally just said that as soon as I joined. Hold on. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait, no, I'm fucking... Oh my god, I'm cooked. I'm actually stupid. I wasn't paying attention. No, I'm cooked. Okay, this is a disgrace ingot now. I was checking the wrong... I was checking shrink. I was like, why is it growing that much? No wonder. Sorry, I'm cooked. Let me read this up again. You know, I was very fond of that little event, that little funny. Also, I kind of brushed over it for a second because like my brain kind of went blank, but we're officially at 500 followers. I remember setting the goal for 2025 at the end that I would get 500 followers. I would say that a week into 2026 is also satisfactory. Okay, I don't know. Like I think I can be proud of that. I think I can be proud of that. Am I watching this melt right now? No. Okay. It's not quite. I thought I was about to like come back to an empty slot because of the bronze ingot just melting in front of my eyes. Let me do it right this time. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wow! I did it! I did it! I did it! I'm a winner! I'm so cool! I'm gonna go poke these on a stick now. Grab my old stinky copper shovel to you know, starve that flame and go over to my humble abode over in Snowville here. Grab some sticks that we have plenty of. My. And we have some bronze tools, everyone. Wow. Yeah, put these down on the ground. So I can, you know, have them somewhere. Hammer, pickaxe, shovel, axe. Wow. Can you believe it, guys? Oh my god, these are so much faster. Because perfectly forged tools are faster and they last longer. It's like a weird like unbreaking effect as well as like somewhat like efficiency. So I'm loving this. I'm loving this, everyone. Oh my god. We'd love to see it. We'd love to see it. Wow. I'm assuming that like I know that there's like I might also just be crazy. Back when I played the previous TerraFirmaGregging world thing, I'm pretty sure there is a difference between crouch mining and not crouch mining. Yeah. Crouch mining will apparently just destroy the tree without giving you any saplings. No, you get quite a bit of saplings when you destroy a tree, so usually it's not like necessary even. But I thought I was kind of crazy at first because I was like, what do you mean you can just chop it without dropping saplings? It's like my whole world had been a lie. It was so unfortunate. It was so sad. Let me place all of these down to a neat little log pile. Nice. So we have basic bronze tools. I'll have to make some for light at some point. Can't leave them out of this. I don't know why I'm looking at that. I just got distracted by fucking shiny red thing. A lot of this stuff is very later on. So I'm not looking forward to the era of Cal and Clay. Because it's just like it's tedious in a way that I can't even like remotely like put into words, man. It's, yeah, I don't even know. I don't even know. It's scary. It's terrifying. I'm scared. I'm pooping my pants. Right. Let me drink some of this fucking water from my flask. God, I have not been used to like actually not having total food scarcity in TerraFirmaGregging, so having this much food around like is not the usual. I am not used to this. So take that as you will. I think Blinding planted these oak trees here because oak. Oh, okay, no, they're not oak trees, they're just chestnut. I don't know why. I guess I just had chestnut. I think these though. These are oak. I think oak burns quite well. Which is why I think they planted them here. There's also a horse. Peter, the horse is here. Peter, I'm a horse. You're a male. Wait, chestnut variant. Oh yeah. It's kind of weird that you're not next to the chestnut trees. Oh well. Who am I to control a horse? There's another horse over there. We should tame these things one day. There's like a horse to ride around on. Now that's like big early game advantage right there. Because I don't know if you noticed, traversing the land can be a little slow, a little hard, a little tedious. Also, we should probably start agriculture at some point. And it's snowing. But I ain't nothing going out here in a subarctic environment in the middle of early winter. You can probably sleep until day. We don't have to deal with the snowfall. Right. Bronze tools. I still need to like generally oh god. Sorry, I'm getting like a little distracted by later achievements. Oh, I got a cough as well. Goodness. Primitive insulation. Oh, this is like for a very early game winter, I think. Insulated leather. I think I mostly have this. Silk clothes are excellent for incredibly hot environments. I see. Burlap. Hot summer environments for certain other hot environments. Insulated leather. Leather armor, leather. Yeah, no, I have a caribou clothing, which is actually quite good. I don't know if it's the best. It might be close. There is the polar bear parka, which is also similar. But I think the caribou might be, yeah, it's probably one of the better ones. So we're nice and snug there in the midst of winter. I don't know how that's gonna look like when winter comes, or late winter even. So who knows how that will evolve. In terms of things I want to do right now, I do need to like technically still pour like a lot more bronze, but I'm thinking about how I'm gonna exactly do that. I could go back to the screenshot of the perfect little, or not perfect, but mostly minimal copper wasting combination I had of... But my brain is not braining right now. Is that tetrahedrite dust in that little... I can use any one of these pots probably. So that would be 6 of these. I'm gonna assume that's tetrahedrite. Maybe. Maybe. I could be mistaken. And then tin, of course, so 6 pieces. Might be missing a little bit of... Yeah, I'm missing a little bit of copper. Which is about like... 1 piece of this, which is a 129. Maybe I can compensate for that with like more of this. Maybe it's like barely fitting. We can sacrifice a little bit more, I guess. It's not like the end of the world as long as it comes out as a whole amount. So that we can prevent having to what's the word for it? Prevent having to have an uneven amount of alloy in there and having to fix it ourselves. Because I'd rather not do that. I'd rather waste some and just have a perfectly good ingot even amount than toil around with fixing it and rebalancing it in the pot by throwing out or throwing in like more copper. Like it could work, but I kind of just don't feel like it either. Can I be a little lazy? Is that like fair? Is that allowed? Can I be a little lazy? A little derpy? Who knows? Obviously, let me make my molds here. So I do think we could use a few more molds. Just to be safe. Oh god, hold on. I just thought about it. My wooden tongs. It's my tongs. I want to burn myself. Also have to make sure that I bellow that, because normally a charcoal forge cannot be hot enough to make ceramic molds form. Unfired ingot mold. Let's see. Make sure to bellow that properly. All right. There we go. Got some new ones in there. Those will probably turn into fired ones real soon. Right now, maybe these. There we go. There we go. Oh, one of them melted. One of them melted. Okay, there we go. There we go. Fire. Alright, we'll just let that one simmer in there for a little bit. Am I going crazy? I think I'm going crazy sometimes. I actually, like, I go nuts because I see something on my, like, in my peripheral. I don't actually think it's real. I don't think actually anything happened. Just my brain. It works in mysterious ways. There we go. Oh my god. We're gonna have to like melt this entire thing too. Let me think. Let me think. It's probably gonna take at least a few minutes. If not, you know, more. I'm just looking at something else while in the meantime. Sorry if I do seem a little bit distracted, unfortunately. Okay, hold on. There we go. Big pot of hot. I need to keep all this snow on me. Okay, so this is all of the copper and whatnot. Let's put the copper in for... What did I just hear? Sorry, I got really scared. I heard like a snow walking sound. I was like, what? There's a tiger snuck up on me. The dire wolf come for my booty. Wouldn't be surprised. Wouldn't be surprised at all. And heat this up. I don't actually think bellowing this much has any real difference, but I can believe it does. I can believe it does. There we go. It's gonna melt soon. Alright, there we go. Too hot to handle. Me when? Me when I'm too hot to handle? Isn't that true, chat? Ugh. God, I sound so cringe. I sound so cringe. Alright, we'll put in our final bits and pieces of tetrahedrite. And then our tin. I accidentally like combined them in the stacks again, but should be fine. Shouldn't have thrown things off too much. I will say I will probably do this cast pouring and probably call it a night. after I've poured the casts. This is because I'm getting a little EP. Also hungry, but that's besides the point. At least, you know, ideally I would want to pour these casts before that. Right. So we're gonna have to let this heat up. I might honestly want to grab like more charcoal. I should have brought my cane, but I forgot on the ground. You know, probably after this, after these casts are poured and I have the ingots, we'll likely be looking for someone to raid, and then we'll call it for a night. I don't know if that sounds good, I don't know if that sounds bad. It's just to make sure that I don't keep going until I'm like half dead. So as funny as that may be, I do generally become like, I have had a lot of streams where I kind of became completely incoherent and like my thoughts were just so far gone that like it was bad. It was so bad. Like obviously I shouldn't do that. I shouldn't let that happen, but it can happen. And I remember very vividly one Payday stream. I was so far gone that like I couldn't remember the previous word I had said. I was practically half in La La Land without realizing it. Okay, I was like, there was nothing in that head of mine. Absolutely not. So, you know, take that as you will. Take that as you will. Heat this pot up over and over and over until we get all the casts out. Oh my god. I mean, hey, I hope that, cause like tomorrow is like a bit of a free day. I believe. If I'm not mistaken, I can just go look at my schedule. Tomorrow is indeed an empty day, but I'll probably be doing something else then. I'll have to just look at that. Then Thursday, I'm gonna be playing Overwatch. Like Sunday, I think I put on more TerraFirmaGregging. So if I can even adhere to this for week 1, or to be very proud of myself. If I don't, well then I'm gonna try again. Fully. And try to like understand where my priorities went kind of wrong, if that makes any sense at all. This might take a hot minute. Oh my god. Did you alert gonna thank you, okay. Thank you, DDM, for the 3 months in advance tier 1 sub. Thank you. Enjoy. I think I have a few emotes in there. Enjoy the strange emotes I have, and no ads. And cool points, swag points, those are the most important. Yeah, thank you. Yummy. Sorry, I have to like eat my in-game food. I might also eat real life food really soon. Just pretty much as soon as I get off. So orange. See, I don't want to pull it out and have it like solidify on me. So I'm gonna like push it past its like usual melting temperature, because if I pull it out now and I just pour it, sure, I'll pour some things out, but like it's gonna cool down real quickly, and I don't want that. I don't want it to cool down real quickly. I'm a little dehydrated. I'm a little dehydrated. Yummy wawa, yummy wawa. Okay, that's yellow. It's gonna be like one more level before white. Yellow white, I think. After this one. It's 1 star. That's 1 star. Is there 2 stars? No. Oh my. There's 2 stars. There's 2 stars. We don't see it. We love to see it. Wow, you know, I love 2 stars. I love 2 stars, almost 4, because then it's yellow white, and I can pour this out and eat something, and go to bed, and thank you all for being cool. You know, 3 stars. I mean, at this point, it's like if it crosses over into yellow white, might just be better to maintain its temperature rather than like try and make it work with me. I hope you eat well. I'm hopeful too. I'm gonna go eat taco slop. That's fair. I will select a raid target in a moment, as soon as I finish with these ingots. I'm hoping I can do it in one fell swoop, or at least I can maintain the temperature maybe of this vessel, but and we're getting a 30-second ad break. Not if you're subscribed, or I have Twitch Turbo, depending on how cool you are, I guess. I don't know. How swag you are. Okay. Maybe I'll see the end of this without it cooling down too much. I don't want to throw the vessel away. That is an empty mold I just threw out. Oh well. We'll have to join his brethren. It's not the worst thing to happen, so whatever. We're slowly nearing half. We're past half. There we go. There we go. Wow. Wow, man. 1,008 motherfuckers. Oh my goog. Oh my goog. 144. Met. Oh, it's into orange now. Better not solidify on me. You better not solidify on me. Oh, I don't like you doing that. I'm gonna play it safe. I'm gonna play it safe and stick it back in the oven. It's like this music is like really epic. Holy, what is going on? Does not feel like this is way too epic right now. It's like so intense. It's like will she pour out the copper? Can she do it? Will she clutch up? It's like what, 2 more ingots? 1 more ingot after this? Yeah. Okay. That is an empty vessel. I can smother this fire. These are the last few. Oh my god, hold on, I should just screw up my flask. I'm actually stupid, I'm actually dumb. There we go. Let me switch all of these out and pop these out. There we go. I'm surprised none of these have broken. I'm gonna jinx myself saying that. There we go. One of them broke. Yep, 2 of them broke. Oh, enough of them broke. Okay. Baroque. 16, 16, something. It's this would be enough for the bloomery itself. That's good. Oh wait. Oh wait, no, this is the disgraceful ingot. We can do something else with that. That's good. That I didn't forget anything under the ice, I don't think. Right, so we're gonna have to look for a raid target. Which, let me see. Who is available to raid? Who is around? I don't think most of my... Oh wow, there's a lot of people though. There's like a lot of people around. I don't know about like the usual ones that I see, but I'm trying to think. Luna, Jackie. Liberty is streaming and he's starting up just now. That might be a good choice. The Gordy is also around. Boofer, Mars Catfish, Gumi-sama as well. Choices. You know, what am I looking at? No, my phone just restarted. I'm assuming it's an update. You know what? We're gonna raid someone. That, are they still going? Let me make sure they're still going. We're gonna raid Punk Roxy. Hold on. Very nice goat VTuber. They are very nice. Their streams are a little more paced as well. Oh wait, never mind. Never mind. They're ending. They're ending stream. Oh my god. Hold on. Plan B. I'm actually cooked. I'm actually cooked. How does it keep happening to me? How does it keep happening to me? Props, Danny. I could learn. I could. We'll raid Props Danny, actually. Alright, we'll start the raid. As usual, thank you guys for stopping along as always. Thank you for the sub. DDM, thank you for stopping by. Zero, thank you for stopping by. Sparks, thank you for stopping by. Bailey. All the other lovely faces that stopped by and joined us here today for some TerraFirmaGregging. Hopefully, the day after tomorrow, we'll be able to be on schedule on 10 p.m. and you'll be able to join me for some Overwatch. But besides that, I think my time on TerraFirmaGregging here today is up. And I will be seeing you guys in the next stream. We'll be raiding out just after the ending soon screen starts kind of settling. But yeah, meow as well to you too, Zero. And I'll see you guys around in the raid. Bye-bye.